life experiences.
Right, and that is why it's good not to have just a bunch of white guys in a situation like that. And so when you were crafting these questions, and it's amazing how many hours and hours and meetings, I mean, people think this is such glamorous work.
I know.
When you and Brett and Chris went over it, part of what you're trying to do, I presume, is to kind of cut off the escape routes, because they're all trying to deflect the question and pivot to something else that they're more comfortable with, right?
Mm-hmm, absolutely right. So we try to bake all that into the question, you know, understanding that you've done this, I'm still going to ask you about that. And we try to press forward in the question so we can sort of box them in so that the audience doesn't have to listen to talking points. And I actually think we did a good job of that. I think that was a successful effort on our part on Thursday night. As for the glamour, I'll tell you, I told this story. You were there.
Yes.
On debate day.
We didn't know if you were going to make it.
I almost didn't make that debate. There was a moment on Thursday afternoon where I said, I'm not going to make it. They're going to have to get Brett and Chris to ask the questions I have written. And I just started to go downhill. I think it was food poisoning. First, the splitting headache came. Then I started to feel very nauseous. Then I actually got sick. Then I went home to the hotel room to lie down for a little bit and I was still sick. And then the beautiful, wonderful savior of my life, Dr. David Silverman of New York, called me in some anti-nausea medicine. Who knew this existed? It's like you don't have to have a stomach virus anymore. I had no idea. To this moment, I don't even know what it was. My assistant, Abby, was dealing with him, feeding me full of medicine, and I was sweating with the washcloth on me. It was 3 in the afternoon. I was like, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. And lo and behold, by 3:47, I was like, a ray of light. I feel it. I might be there. And sure enough, by 5:30, I was back in hair and makeup, and by 9 o'clock that night, actually, we took a picture of me walking into the arena, and it was like one of these because I couldn't believe it. The power of modern medicine.
Somehow I knew you'd be there if you had to crawl out on that stage. Megyn Kelly, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks, Howie.
I know.